Birmingham is the second largest city in the United Kingdom, and it's a very Islamic city. There's an enormous number of Muslim people there, and they've actually elected some Muslims from a Muslim-only party. Well, not quite Muslims only. I think 5 out of the 6 MPs are Muslim, and they ran in the last election on a Lend Your Vote to Gaza platform. So they're essentially an Islamic party, although they do have, I think, one white guy, Jeremy Corbyn, who's sort of an old-time communist, former leader of the Labour Party, actually. I never thought that such a party would be successful because I always thought, well, the left-wing parties would absorb that vote. They would just pander to that community. But when you have 30 or 40% of the population in a certain district being Muslim, there is enough cohesion amongst Muslim voters to beat the other parties, especially in a multi-party system where you've got Labour and Reform and Conservatives and Liberal Dems. If you can get 40% of the vote, you've won. And so it was. Then in the last election, a handful of these Lend Your Vote to Gaza candidates won. And anyhow, that's Birmingham for you. It's one of the most Islamic places in the UK. That's the background here. So the local football team, that's what they call soccer over there, called Aston Villa, they were hosting a friendly game with an Israeli team called Maccabi. That's what the Israeli teams are called. So this MP named Ayub Khan, one of the Gaza MPs, he started a petition. He started agitating online to ban them. Well, wouldn't you know it, today the West Midlands Police made the decision. Let me read what they said. West Midlands Police has requested that supporters of Israeli club Maccabi Tel Aviv not be allowed to attend the Europa League game against Aston Villa in Birmingham on November 6th. The police asked for that, quote, due to concerns over unrest. Sources briefed on the matter told The Athletic. The force has advised the city's safety advisory group against approving an away allocation at Villa Park, and UEFA, the competition's organizer, is expected to follow the recommendation of local authorities. So was it a police matter or was it a political matter? When they say that the Israeli fans, the Jewish fans, are at risk from what? And are the police saying that they can't or they won't enforce law and order? Well, here's that same MP, Ayub Khan, the one who started the boycott petition. He couldn't be more thrilled. He's the most powerful man in the UK today. He says, I welcome the news that Maccabi Tel Aviv fans will not be permitted to watch the match at Aston Villa. Well done to all those that signed our petition. Okay, hang on. Was it the petition or was it the threat of violence? Or are they the same thing? When the police say they can't keep Jews safe, do they really mean it? Or do they not have enough force? Do they not have enough police? Do they not have a SWAT team? I mean, Birmingham is an enormous city. It's second only to London in size. I think it's even bigger than Manchester. You're saying the Birmingham police, with 2 weeks' notice, cannot keep Jews safe at that football stadium? Or you're saying they won't even try. It's the path of least resistance. I mean, come on now. How many Jews are there even in Birmingham, and how many, who cares about them? Path of least resistance. Keep the Jews out. What are they going to do at most? Squawk a bit about it. They're not going to riot, not going to bomb the place, are they? Who exactly is the unrest they're protecting against? I think we all know. The incredible thing about this announcement, it was almost to the hour. A series of announcements by the Labour government of the UK, led by Keir Starmer. Here's one he made on his 10 Downing Street Twitter feed. He said, tackling anti-Semitism in our society is a national effort that this government will lead. Yeah, that's too delicious, isn't it? And here's the UK Home Office, which is basically in charge of all domestic matters. No one should have to live a life in fear because of the faith they practice. That is not the Britain we stand for. In addition to existing support, up to £10 million in new funding will protect synagogues, Jewish faith schools, and community centers across the UK. Welcome to the United Kingdom. The government just can't or won't. I mean, we've shown you before there are 43,000 jihadists that MI5 is trying to track. I'm sorry, there's no police force in the UK that can take it on. I think they should say that, though. I think they should admit the reason they won't. Now, I think all of this is a secondary problem, of course. It's like when I see in Quebec the premier talking about banning prayer in public. Prayer in public is not the problem. I mean, Catholics and Jews occasionally pray in public in Quebec. The problem that the Premier of Quebec has been trying to solve is a problem that actually our own Alexa Lavoie exposed, which is pro-Hamas supporters mobbing the streets outside the great Catholic Basilica in Montreal, having their public prayers on the streets and sidewalks surrounding the cathedral. Now, there's, I don't know, close to 100 mosques in Montreal. They're not praying there because they don't have anywhere else to pray. It is a dominance move. And instead of calling it out, the premier says, I'm just going to ban all public prayer. But that's a secondary problem and a secondary solution to it. The primary problem is mass immigration, a refusal to assimilate, and tolerance for violence from jihadists. Imagine punishing the victims, punishing innocent Jews and Israelis who want to go to this football match, punishing them. They're the ones who can't go because you are afraid of taking on the jihadists. But that's the UK. I mean, we all saw the big march about a week ago. Officials said there were 500,000 people marching in support of Hamas. I don't think there were that many, but there were more than 100,000. UK now has an Islamic party that is winning seats. It is pulling Keir Starmer, the Labour Party, to the left. That's why Keir Starmer endorsed Palestine as a sovereign country. Same reason Mark Carney did, same reason that Australia did, that France did. They don't actually believe that as a policy statement. They're worried about their domestic vote. The Muslim vote in the UK, in Australia, in France is enormous, and Canada is quickly catching up. That is why the police made their decision. Expect things to get worse. I don't know. I find it sort of sad to see the end of Jewry in the UK. Last Jew out, turn off the lights.